noise for my man, Mr. Matthew Sproul!
He said my name and that guy goes. You must have heard me before. That's all. Sorry to disappoint you. How y'all doing? That was funny. And when he was talking about the whole spinning thing, I turned around and looked at my wife, and she just, no, that's we're not gonna, it's gonna be a long ride home. Speaking of which, I'm glad you guys are here, so I wanted to tell you the same thing that I told my wife on our wedding night. Thank you for coming. And don't worry, my time will be done here shortly. I've been having a great week. I hope you guys can see this with me, but my credit score recently caught up with the price of gas. I'm very excited about that. That's really cool. We're on an uphill swing here. But so yeah, I said I am married, and she's, well, I'm happy about it, but she's here with me, and I'll tell you, if you guys are not married, where are the married folks at again? Where are they at? You can clap now, wife. Always, oh yeah, me, yes. Get it done. When the single people are where? You know what married people love about single people? Not a damn thing. Not a thing. Can it? I'll tell you who's killing it for us right now. The married folks, and if you're thinking about getting married, is anybody thinking about it? Who are the thinkers here? Nobody. Nobody. Someone's gonna have a long car ride home, and you should have raised your damn hand. I'll ask you once more at the end of the show, you can redeem your ass. But I'll tell you who's killing it for us. You guys know this. That's Jared. Oh, he got it from Jared. It's from Jared. When I find Jared, I'm gonna whoop his ass. I'm gonna tell you that much. This guy. My wife, she saw the commercial, she's like, you know you gotta go to Jared, and I'm like, I bet you would. So, you know, I want to do her a solid, and so I started looking around, and I searched a whole bunch of different places, and I finally found the right Walmart, where there was a Jared that worked in the jewelry department, and he hooked me up, so now she can say she got it from Jared. It's from Jared. It's from Jared. She's really proud of the ring that she got me. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it back there with this wonderful community center we got here, but she picked this wedding ring out herself. So if you guys can see it in the light, so it's like right there, it is right there. See? One size fits all. It matches the one that she's got for me on my ankle too at the flashing lights, but. I didn't hear it, but I'll bet it was good. Someone must have ankle bracelets. So, speaking of long car rides home, I had to use my GPS to find this place because I was looking for the booming metropolis of Midwest City. Somebody's clapping. The one person that lives here and admits it. Midwest City, we love it! It says city in the name. And so I was looking for a city, and I went down like Jeffries Road, 32, and had to come this way, and I had to use my GPS to find it, and had me come down number 11 road, and the directions I got were, it's across from the Walgreens. You know you're in Oklahoma when your directions are across from the Walgreens. And I'm looking, and you know what's across from the Walgreens? The senior center. So I'm driving to the senior, and the senior center, next to the senior center is the cops. And next to the cops is the library. This is the third circle of hell. Good luck getting home. I gotta drive to Tulsa. So I had my GPS, and it makes me think, it's funny how we have a GPS that has a woman's voice. Most of these GPSs have a woman's voice. And it's funny because I thought that we got those things because we already had an annoying female voice in the car. I think she left, so I can say that joke. I'm the kind of guy that thinks that, you know, a GPS should have a voice that reflects where you're going, what you're trying to do. You know, like if you're trying to go into a more rich neighborhood, we're going to need you to go take a left at this Walgreens down here. Because it's in Oklahoma. Go a couple blocks and you'll be all right. The more south you go, it's going to be, you're going to head down to the old farm road, and you're going to turn left when the mailboxes actually stop. And then I think the more urban places you go, it's like, you need to turn around, you're in the wrong neighborhood. You need to go around. I'm trying to find a McDonald's. You don't want to get a McDonald's here, you turn it around. Oh man, this weather's messed up. How about this Oklahoma weather? Oh, Florida guy talking about it. Yeah, we feel your pain, Mr. 80 degrees year round. Oh no, it's humid. Okay, I'm gonna watch you get hit by hail while I'm gonna laugh my ass off. But this weather, what was it? It was 70, and then it becomes 30. I mean, that's not weather. That's the flu. That's the flu right there. We're all that's we don't need Ebola. We've got Oklahoma weather. I do believe in God, and those of you that believe in God, I'm here to tell you that God's not a man. God is actually a couple of little old ladies on menopause going, this is too hot, this is too cold, we gotta turn this down, this is too hot. You've got night sweats, it's not because you're too old, it's because you're in freaking Oklahoma. But I got one of those sinus infections the other day, and you guys have got these things, the pressure, and this is a staple with Oklahoma. And I was looking around for one of those things that you squirt up in your nose, that little thing that you shoot up in there. Are you making that because you made a fart sound and that's funny? Fart jokes always do it with parents. So I was looking for, and I couldn't find that thing. I needed something to shoot up and hose out my nose. I couldn't find anything, so I looked around, and I looked in the shower, and I saw something that I guess belonged to my wife. Don't get there yet. I think it belonged to my wife because it had a pump on it. And, of course, the applicator stretched the shit out of my nostril. And once I got done, I was breathing clearer than a summer's eve. I don't want to tell you guys that much. I guess the French word for nasal spray is Dowshay. It's Dowshay, sir. Man, some of y'all are going to have to explain that on the way home. Like I said, I got my wife here, and we've been married now for 2.5 years. And when we met, it was like one of those little storybook romances, you know. I've spared no expense. We got married in Arkansas, and it's scenic. It's got different weather. While I'm talking about Arkansas, I do want to give them a shout out. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but their dating website is off the charts. Have you guys seen this? Ancestry.com? It is not. Reeling them in. Somebody's figured out the formula, but we were driving on the way there, and there's one thing you see here in Oklahoma when you're driving on the roads. You guys seen those signs? It's got the young lady on there. She's probably 16 or 17. It says she's somebody's daughter. You guys seen those signs? You know, and I'm thinking, you're right, that she's somebody's daughter, but this is Oklahoma. At that age, she's probably somebody's mother as well. But, there are my groans. I knew they were coming. Douche didn't get you, but human trafficking does. Okay. I'm gonna have to make a note of that one. So we went away to Arkansas. I had one of those really wonderful weddings. We went to the clerk's office to fill out the form, the application, marriage license, and it had your normal questions. It had the relation of the bride to the groom, and I don't know, maybe I just figured that was for everywhere. And it said, right beside cousin, it said to what extent. Had check boxes if you didn't know. And no, we're really glad. My wife and I are not related anymore. And so we went looking around, and we found a great church. It was on Squeal Like a Pig Lane, and it was. No, see, Arkansas is wonderful. It's a place dreams are made of, if you dream of deliverance. But we found a great chapel, and it was something just like out of the Princess Bride. Have you guys seen The Princess Bride? You guys know this movie? Some people know. Good, half the people are going to laugh. There were the rodents of unusual size outside there, and we go in a giant Spaniard were our witnesses, and when we get ready to say our vows, and I take mine out. Of course, I'm very poetic. I'm like Michelle, which is really cool because that's her name. And said, Michelle, you're my muse, my queen. You mean everything to me. I can't wait to spend the rest of my life with you. You know, yeah, isn't that wonderful? Seriously, frame that shit. And so then it comes to her time. She's like, Matt, I lost a bet. Let's get this over with. So the preacher comes out, and he opens up the good book, and he looks down, and he goes, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. Say it with me, crowd. But love, sweet love. Yeah. And in the back, there's some little guy that goes, inconceivable. And I don't know how he knew my wife couldn't have kids. That's what's inconceivable. I know. We're parents here, we're all talking about having kids and stuff like that. Believe it or not, at one point in time, they let me breed. What's the matter with you? I do have a son. He is 12 years old, and the other day he came up to me and he said, Dad, I was watching your YouTube channel the other day, and that's not a good idea. You tell me first, and I can screen some. But he was, I was watching them, and I noticed on one of your videos, you said that you talked a whole lot about a woman's china. And I said, son, let me explain something. He goes, no, you don't have to explain anything. I understand, because my mom has china too. Only she gets hers out when there's guests over for dinner. I said, yeah, that sounds about right. And then he said, but Dad, there's one thing I've noticed that my mom, she really doesn't use her china very often. Son, that's one of the reasons why your mom and I didn't work out so well. And then he said, but Dad, I've also noticed that my mom, she doesn't really take good care of her china. Son, that's going to be the other reason why your mom and I didn't work out so well. I'm just like Florida boy. I shouldn't be hard on him. Brett James, two damn names. How do you do that? But you call us weird here in Oklahoma. But I'm not actually from here. I am from Kansas, and all right. Now there's plenty of things to joke about in Kansas, except we've got paved roads. But when you're born and raised in Kansas, you're raised either one of two ways: Christian or Democrat. And I was a disappointment. I've got one more thing to do, but before I do, I just want to let you know, while I'm talking about marriage, you may have seen the shirts back there, but I'm one of these firm believers that instead of wedding rings, I think that married men should wear signs around their neck that say, under new management. And if you believe that as well, I've got a sign for you to wear, under new management. The only shameless plug is it's got my website down the bottom, so in the handcuffs, yeah. All right, so I've got one more thing to tell you folks, and I want you to try and keep up as best you can, but I'm at that age right now where I have to go see that certain doctor, you know, and I really don't want to do that because they're always the butt of everyone's jokes, but it was going to be my first time to go there, so I said I only wanted a semi-colonoscopy, and so I went and I didn't know where to look for him, so I dug deep in the phone book and I finally found one, and so I went there and they said the doctor was running behind, and I took a look at everybody, and he was running a lot of behinds, but I went in there anyway, and his name was Dr. Burroughs, but I decided I'd go on there, and I sat down and I talked to a few guys, and I just thought I should get to know them, but I didn't want to penetrate too deep, and so I decided to turn the other cheeks, and I didn't want to get to know them, and so they called me back to the back, and I sat down, and I could tell this guy wasn't somebody that had a whole lot of friends, but a ton of enemies, and so we decided to talk to you, and he sat me down, and he said, you know, this is going to hurt you a whole lot, but it's going to hurt me, and I said, well, no shit. He goes, well, I hope not, and so we started talking some more, and I hate when he gets a camera out, because the guy's got tunnel vision. I mean, he uses the wide-angle lens. The tripod tickles, but you know, we get done, and he said I cracked him up. But you know, I go home, and I finally got that phone call where he, you know, that you wouldn't want to get this from your proctologist, where he said, hey, I left my wedding ring, and I said, no shit. He goes, no, I hope not. But he said, he goes, I don't know what I'm supposed to tell my wife, and I said, well, don't believe me, this too shall pass. Thank you, everybody. My name is Matthew Sproul.
Matt Sproul, ladies and gentlemen.